Now, to understand reactionarism, you have to separate it from reactionaryism. Reactionaryism is just the idea to react to something that's going on, while reactionarism was the way for the French to try and codify the reactionary ideology, to make it so people are able to react and have a set of guidelines on what they should react to and how exactly they would put back the old system in place that they want back. Reactionarism is a pseudo-populist ideology. Basically, it's saying, hey, we want to do the popular thing for a minority. Meanwhile, populism's like, no, let's do this popular thing. And often reactionarism is going against the populist and going with the minority populist movement. Reactionarism is often used to defend old institutions like a monarchy or a senate, something that has been in power a long time that they kind of grew up with and understand. This makes it kind of a boomerish ideology. But this is in contrast to reactionaryism, who is usually reacting to something that those things did. So reactionaryism, once again, is a less popular, but wants to defend the traditions instead of make new ones. Because reactionaryism is reacting to someone trying to change the ideology, this really makes them an uptight traditionalist. Now, it might be a different tradition they want to preserve or like slightly alter it to make it more to their liking, but they will strictly defend their traditions against anyone trying to change it. Unlike reactionaryism, again, trying to change the tradition in response to the tradition doing something that they don't like. This means they are staunch constitutionalists, so it's usually the people going, we need to make the government back whereas the Constitution was, I own a musket for home defenses, that's what the Founding Fathers intended. Usually it's that type of genre of people. Now, reactionaryism did come from the French Revolution trying to defend the monarchy. So even though we see more examples in real life, such as the counter-protests to the Antifa protest and such like that, it's really trying to defend a monarchy as the original goal of it was to establish a monarchical system. So a real reactionarist would be the loyalist in the American Revolution. As such, this leads to kind of some weird things that I don't think most people would realize if they claim to be a reactionarist, such as they're anti-technology, they don't want a lot of stuff to change, because changing, for instance, media allows more ideas to be spread, and so they kind of want to quiet that down and just keep everything on a straight path. So kind of a zero accelerationist ideology, just wants to keep things the same. At a risk of oversimplifying things, the Cold War was really a reactionarist war with, hey, we need to stop the spread of communism because it's a new and dangerous ideology. And so that was the reactionary in the US and the Western world talking about that, like trying to keep their traditions alive without having the threat of communism. McCarthy was a reactionarist, obviously. But even though, all things considered, it was created and wrote down, we have examples dating throughout history. Anytime you see a populist movement rise up and a minority populist movement tries to suppress it, we get things like the assassination of Caesar. So clearly reactionarist has just always been in our political consciousness, but the French really codified it into an ideology. Whoa, whoa, whoa. As we watch a bunch of these reactionarists about to stab what they call a tyrant, I just want to tell you, the video on the left, that's my most recent upload. And the video on the right, that's what Julius Caesar himself wants you to watch. I don't know what it is, man, but listen, he's about to get stabbed, so it's your choice.